Have you seen? I might be chopping my head off.
I can't tell. Let's tip it up a little bit.
All right, take two. Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name's Brian, and I've just been building stuff on this piece of property to make all the buildings and everything that fits inside. So today's project, or this video's project, is building a Doug Fir barn door. It's basically a sliding door that goes. It's going to separate the main addition room from the entryway, and the door is like 4'1" wide by 8'3" tall, or 8'2", 2.5", something like that. And so yesterday, Kristen and I went to the hardwood and plywood supplier and bought a sheet of 1/2" Doug Fir, vertical grain Doug Fir, and this piece in front of me, and hopefully you can see it, and was just shocked at the price. I probably could have made it out of mahogany, and it would have been the same price or maybe even less. But all the doors in the upstairs of the original house are all Doug Fir, but they're a veneer, and I'm not making a veneer. This is going to be a solid wood door. And so, suck it up, buttercup, you know, getting the labor for free. All the rest of the wood in the house has basically been for free. So spending a little money to have something nice, that's how we're justifying it. We don't have unlimited funds, so got to be careful about, you know, just can't spend willy-nilly. Got to take everything in consideration. All right. I also have been working on the last of the trim. So there are 2 doors and a couple other little pieces, and I managed to make all those, sand them. They're ready to be built and painted. But before I do that, I'll back up. So we went to the hardwood supplier. They didn't have what I wanted. They had 8-quarter Doug Fir. They had 1 piece, and this is his 13-footer. Another guy had special ordered a small lift. I wasn't allowed to touch any of that stuff, and they said because it's so expensive that they just haven't been shipping it in. So I took this piece home, and I figured out how much short of material I was, and I'm actually got to go back. They don't have any more 8-quarter stuff, but I'm gonna buy 4-quarter stuff and plane it and then glue it together to give me the thickness, the 1.5" final thickness that the door is going to be. So this morning I'm actually gonna chop this piece up that's in front of me so that I know exactly how much short I am, because the stuff's so expensive. I just can't afford to buy extra and have it hang around. All right, there's the intro. I finally got around to doing an intro. Last video, I'm like, oh, I'm editing and I have no intro. All right, I'm going to chop this up, and then I'll show you where we're at. And then I'll show you a picture of what the door actually might look like. Here's a quick drawing of what the door is going to look like. what is it, 4 foot, 1.5 inches wide. And it's 8 foot, oh, can you see this? 8 foot, I think it's 2.5 inches tall. So, you can see I chopped up that piece that I had, and we end up with this piece and that piece, the top piece, the middle piece, and the two top piece. Basically, this is a frame and panel door. If you take off that half of it, or that third of it, it's a regular door. But, so, because it's so wide, we added a second style on each side, just to help, and this is going to be all plywood in here. So, yeah. So I'm missing this piece, which I want to make as 8 inches wide, and these two pieces in here, and there. So I got to go get 1-inch boards, glue them together to make up these pieces here. And this piece here, which is the middle one, I ripped it wrong. So I'm like, damn it. There's a little bit of, I don't know what this is, but it's not good. So I re-ripped it, and I'm going to glue it back together. The grain will all match. And it's a little wider than I want, so hopefully I can get rid of that. I'm like halfway through the cut. I'm like, I cut the wrong edge. Put the wrong edge against the fence. So, oh well, we all make mistakes. I'll glue this back together. Nobody will ever know. All right, I'm off to the hardwood supplier to pick up a little bit more, and hopefully no more mistakes. All right, there we are. Just loaded up with 2 more pieces of Doug Fir, and I hope that that's enough. So I'll be able to glue these, plane them, glue them together, and get 1.5 inches out of them. Since, yeah, there you go. Shopping for wood. Put the hat on here. I think I've already done an intro, so I'm gonna just skip over that because I think I've already done it. All right, you saw the picture of the proposed door, and I finally got all the stock made up. These are all the stiles, and these are the 3 rails. And I couldn't, place I went to got Doug Fir, they didn't have any more 8-quarter stock. So these rails and that one were glued up, but you'll never know when it's all together because that's all going to be hidden. The only edge you'll see is the edge of these 2 outer pieces. So they're all planed down to a 1/2 inch, and these are all like 3.5. I'm gonna go stop for lunch. The shop smells like Doug Fir, and it's turning into a bit of a disaster because I just been go, and now I'm sick of tripping over stuff. I don't have an little elf to come clean up, so I gotta get this mess cleaned up before I move on to the next step, which is cutting these all to size, doing I gotta put a groove in here centered for the 1/2 inch plywood. So that's probably the next step, is to cut the groove for the plywood next, and then I can start chopping them to length. And then the last thing to do is take that plywood and cut it to size. I gotta sand everything. I gotta chamfer the inside edges. And I've got to cut some mortises for the floating, on the mortise machine. I've got to make some floating tenons. And I think we'll have this going together in the next couple of days, which will be awesome. And then I can just let it, after that I got to oil it and Then I got to let it sit for like 3 days before I can bring it in the house. All right, lunchtime for me. Well, these gloves with the rubber coating on them make holding on to the stuff really so much better, because this is also really splintery. So that's all the grooves to accept the plywood. This is the bottom rail, and this is the very bottom of the door, and I'm going to actually cut a groove in here that's going to cut a groove in here to accept a bracket that will help guide the door when it's being opened and closed. So I've got to cut that now before I forget. All right, before I make the groove any bigger, I want to go see if I can find some material, some steel that'll fit in there. Right now it's 3/16. I don't want to make it any bigger unless I have to. Well, the battery died. The batteries don't seem to like this cold weather. All right, so I don't know what I filmed and what I didn't. Last night before I left, I got the door to this point. Now it's all exactly where everything needs to be. So I'm going to measure for all the panels. They're all the, 3 of them are the same, and those are the same height. So this is basically all the panels on the bottom should be the same as all the panels on the top should be the same. So I'm going to cut those out this morning. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sand the insides. This is my opportunity to get a sander in here and take them one at a time to the bench and sand them. And then I'm actually going to run a chamfer on here that's going to stop. And so I'm going to do that right after I sand them. So those parts are, the inside is basically all done. And then I'm going to do a complete dry fit of it. And then take it apart, and I guess I'll take it apart and glue it up today if I can get the garage warm enough. But the other thing I'm doing first thing this morning is I gotta clean up this pigsty, because it's just it's gotten a little out of control. I'll put on my maid outfit and clean the garage. All right, there it is, all dry fit. All right, let's get the camera working here. There are some, this Doug Fir is really splitty. And when I routed these chamfers, I had to go backwards because it's notoriously really splitty. And I got one split, I think it's on the, where is it, down here? Somewhere over here. Oh, it's right here. You see that? I guess I'm gonna try to glue that back in. But that's very common in this Doug Fir, and it's, yeah, I don't know. I tried everything I could and went it backwards and still split. And there's also another, oh, I guess you can't see it. It's on the underside. It's on the other side of this. There is a split. But this is at the top. And I think this is going to be on the inside. That'll be on the inside. Trying to hide stuff as much as I can. I don't have, you know, I didn't have the opportunity to pick through this stuff. I just had, there was one board and I took it and I'm making the best I can out of it. But I love the chamfers in here, the stop chamfers. Probably could have gone a little closer. Okay. All in all, looks pretty good. If I'd had more material, I would have got this out of one piece because then you could see the grain continuing, but I had to get them out of what I could out of the board. And so, you know, picky. Just maybe no one will see that, but I see it. All right, I'm gonna take a break, and then I think if I can get the shop warm enough, I'm gonna glue this up today so that I can, next step is just to sand it. You can see this groove in the bottom. This is for a guide. I've got to cut that on both sides to continue that. And then sand this and fit the brackets at the top. And then I've got to oil it. And I don't even know how heavy it is. Oh, it's pretty heavy. And then I got to get somebody's help to help me bring it in. All right, that's it. I'm going to go take a break and then come out here and see if I can glue this up today. Hopefully you can see the door behind me. All right, this is it, all glued up. I couldn't glue it and film. It was just too much stress. It's all glued up. There we go. So I didn't do floating tenons. I opted not to do floating tenons in here because this door is not hinged. It's hung. The bracket goes here and another one on the other side. So there's literally no stress on this door. It's just hanging there. So it's all glued. All the panels are glued in. All the stiles and rails are glued together, so should be okay because, like I say, there's no stress on this door. It's just hanging there. So, all right, it's 60 degrees in here. This thing should dry, and I'll see it tomorrow and start sanding. Well, this morning I sanded the door, and then Kristen came out and we flipped the door over and I sanded the other side. But I got a couple splinters. This one's being glued up under there. Hopefully that'll dry. And this one up here, I had to, you can see it's barely warm enough in here for this to dry. Shouldn't be turning white. I think it'll be okay. The temperature is now 55 degrees in here, so. All right, so I had to, we're having to fix some of the cracks in these things because, like I said before, this is all the material I could get, so I'm making it work. But I've got the door track hardware out, and I just went through the whole thing, the whole manual, and it is so easy to install. I've never hung one of these before, and they make it so easy. They've got these special clips that go under here that give you the exact height, so you can bore the holes, and that takes all the guesswork out of it. And the track itself They have these, where the heck are they in here? They have these standoffs that go on here that give you the exact distance off of the wall. So I think this is going to be as easy as it gets. Thank you to all the people who put this together, because yeah, it takes all the guesswork out of it. Put some oil on it, and that's probably going to take, I don't know, 3 days or so for it to dry before I can bring it in the house. But okay, I just oiled it, oiled the door. I think it looks amazing here. And the lighting's not that good in here. But we stood it up, and I screwed it to the wall so it would stand there so I could get everything. Pretty nice. Of course, this side the light's not shining on it so nicely. Yeah, I think it came out okay. I gotta let it dry. It says 8 to 12 hours, but I don't think it's warm enough in here, and maybe by tomorrow I can work with it. I don't know. I might leave it for 2 or 3 days, see what happens.
Just don't go too fast because I don't know where I'm stepping. Okay. All right, I'm ready to go.
So there's a board on your right.
Maybe I shouldn't grab it so low.
All right, you can back up. All right, I'm just gonna sit right here.
Oh, easy, easy. Oh.
All right, I got it.
No, that was just awkward, and my arm got bent. It's okay, I'm fine.
Hey, you're on
Where are we
film.
going?
I'm gonna lay it down.
Okay.
I want to make sure that that bracket is not on the middle.
Oh, it is right here. Hold on.
Hold on, we gotta get some. Ready?
Hold on. Okay. I don't know if we're on the sticks or not.
We're not.
Where
Put
do I?
yours on the stick. That's fine.
Okay.
Yours is a little further, push it away from you.
What? The door or the stick?
Just stop right there.
Going.
Alright.
Wow. What do you want to do?
Can,
Just tell me.
I want to move this stick over to here.
Okay. Okay. Like so?
Yeah. Oh, that's perfectly plumb. All right, we got the door hung. Seems to work okay. So, check it out. Maybe I should move you closer. There's a little bit of rubbing and it's happening at the guide at the bottom that you can't see. But I think we're pretty good. This is actually the end of this video. It's a shorty. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Stick around. I think there's sawmilling, logging and sawmilling coming up because the snow is melting quick. So if you made it this far into the video, thanks for watching. And stick around, there's more to come. Hopefully you will.